There we go. So open up V Carve Pro, and it actually remembers stuff from the previous time. So we want 18 and 11. 11.5. Now the thing is, it should look like your shape. Oh, why did I do that? I'm hitting that.
You can go back to the arrows if you want.
Which one?
The one with all the arrows somewhere with it. Top left, second one. Down. Down.
That one there? Oh, there we go. Thank you. You know this better than me. So you just want to make sure we have the material surface to the top. And this is going to be front left. Front left. That's where we're going to hook up the CNC to it. We're going to have it master it there. Okay, so three different options. What you can do is you can find an image. And for Cody, let's do Canora thistles. So it's going to bring it in, then you can size it, whatever size you want. Just realize the bigger the image, the deeper the image, the longer it's going to take. We have about an hour every class to do. Okay, so then what I have to do, so let's say, for this example, I'm going to leave it like that. You do have measuring tools here to tell you how big it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So normally we want to center it, right? So all we do is we still have our vector there, and it's centered now. So it perfectly centers it. Now each of these tabs or palettes you want to go close. So then what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to select the object, and I have to do a little bit of bitmap work. Okay, so I'm going to take that color logo, and I'm actually going to convert it to black and white. And all of this other stuff, we're going to leave it set up like that. So then we want to go preview. So now let's start cutting things up, and then it apply. And then I'm going to close. So now what I have to do is I have to select all those vectors that it just made. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little tool path here and V Carve engraving tool path. So I'm going to take this. Oh, so what I have to do is I'm just going to leave the depth at 0. But the other thing, chances are you guys are going to have to do this. You're going to have to select the proper V bit. The V bit is in there right now. It's a 1/2 inch one, so 0.5. So I'm going to go, okay, it's already set for me. You guys are going to have to set that, and it tells you in the instructions which one. Okay, and calculate. Oh, so there's a piece of wood. So what I can do, I've got it set for oak. Oh, well, I'm going to use pine. So let's go to pine. And I'm going to go preview tool path. Oh, so that's what it's going to look like. That was with me not setting any depth. Sometimes you'll find that'll work. Sometimes you'll find that depending on the image, it'll actually tell you, you're going to get this arrow, it's going to carve right through your wood. The image that you have in relation to the depth of the artwork is too thick. So if you get an error saying, no, you can't route this, then you're going to have to get a different one. I've seen kids where they get 5 different logos, and when they get to this point, it says, oh, you're going to cut through the wood. I was playing with it last night, just trying some different thicknesses. I went 1/8 of an inch, and I tried to do a Raider logo, but it told me it's not going to work because the image is too deep for the 1/8 inch thickness. Okay, which I won't do that today. But you would get an arrow saying, you know what, you're going to cut all the way through. So you can try the different examples. You can go marble, you can go MDF, whatever you want. Okay. Steel. Yeah, you can go steel. So that's the first one. That's just an image like that. So I'm not. Oh, so really, what you want to do is file save. What I want you to do in your Z drive. You guys know where your Z drive is? Like, for example, when you open up any computer, it's not going to be scattered like this. You're going to have a Z drive there. I want you to create a woodworking folder, and then what you're going to do is you're going to save all your files. Now, I had this file, this Canora thistles, on my pictures. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find something on the internet, and then you're going to save it into there. It takes all types of files. You guys know what a PNG is? Basically, it's a picture, right? So that's the most common one. So you have to find the image that's non-copywritten, or you have permission. So in a case like this, I'm going to go File, Save As, and save it as whatever you want, okay? This is the first part of the process. So I'm just going to cancel this for a second. Now, this really I'm not done yet, because now what I need to do is, if this is what I wanted to do, and the other thing, so I'm just gonna go close here. You guys understand preview selected toolpath. When you guys are using this, I need to see this screen. I wanna make sure that you're not gonna cut into that blue table, okay? Have we had that before? No, but I have actually had people clamp the clamps in the wrong spot where it carved it up. So I'm just gonna go close. So other things that we need to know is we need to know how long this is gonna take. So according to this, if we were to hook this up to the CNC machine, it would take 5 minutes and 6 seconds, plus or minus 10%. So then the other thing that I need to do, so I would also need to know the time. It tells you on the instructions, when you see the time, write this time down on your sketching sheet. So we close. So then what we need to do is we need to create this file so the box out there will read it. Okay, so what we want to do is we go save tool paths. On the sheet, this is called the CNC Shark. So we have CNC Piranha, CNC Shark. Where do we see Shark here? Oh, not rotary though. We want CNC Shark, USB arcs an inch. Now that TAP is the key. What we need to do is we need it, that machine will only read CNC Shark. Because it is a CNC Shark, we're going to be hooking it up through the USB and we're using inches. So I'm going to highlight that. Save tool path. Guess where I want you guys to save this tool path?
File you made already?
In that folder. I want you to create a woodworking folder, okay? So I'm just gonna type something random there. I'm not gonna do this, like I'm not gonna hook it up to the CNC machine. Voila. If you were doing that image, that is done. Then what we would do is we would take a laptop and we would take it over there and we would hook up the laptop to that silver module. We'd clamp our piece of wood down and we'd be good to go. Okay, so that's one option. I'm going to show you 3. Owen.
Would it not be longer for this one because you selected Marble as your background?
That is just, it's just giving you different visualization of what it looks like.
If you're doing a metal one, is there a water sprout on that?
No, it's not a, what's that called? That is not a, no, oh, it's a CNC water jet. Will they actually use water to cut it out?
No, it just wets the metal.
Yeah,
so
no,
it doesn't
no.
get too much.
This is only for, that one there is only for woodworking, okay? Plasma cutter, is that what it's called? Plasma cutter, same thing. We're just doing ours for wood.
You also get a CNC like that. It's a milling machine.
Right, yes. So the steps, the most common thing that kids want to do is take the image, okay? So the first set of instructions in this booklet, how to set up your file, and then it breaks it down. Most common people want to take an image, so that's the first set of instructions, okay? So I'm just going to close this, and I'm going to save this as well. Now this is a little different file. This is the V Carve. What we did when we saved it the first time was for that box out there, that CNC machine, to read it. So I'm just gonna blah, 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 okay? So the one thing about this program, it remembers what you had set up previously before. So I'm gonna go to V Carve Pro and create a new file. Oh, it's got everything there for us. But I would still check, it's still single-sided, 18 by 11 by 3/4. So the other thing that you can do is you can actually take and type text in. And you can choose different fonts. You can change the size of it. You can change the size of it here. What I like to do is I'll change the size of it here. Okay, how do I center this again? Well, you go up to the centering board here, which is set job dimensions, and transform objects, align, and there you go. So it centers it for you automatically. Close. So this one's a little bit easier. I'm just going to select it, toolpath, same process. So sometimes what people want to do is, let's say for example you wanted to go a little bit deeper, you would actually click on this box and you would go at 0.125 increments to try it. but most people, they just leave it set at 0. Remember? Now I remembered my tool path from the last time, so it's actually remembering that 90-degree V tool bit, 1/2 inch wide. Calculate. So I'm going to change this back to wood. Let's go and preview tool path. So that's what it would look like. So the thing I would need to see is because you guys see the background is blue. If we cut through it, you'd see the blue part of the background showing through. So we don't want that. So the other thing that I would need to see, so I'm just going to close this. How long is this one going to take? 1 minute and 5 seconds. It's actually going to take more time to set it up than it is to actually route it. And then you would save it. And it remembered this too. So it remembers a lot of the stuff. Make sense? So I'm just going to close that. I'm not going to save it. So the third way to do is a combination of both. So I'm going to create a new file that remembers everything here. So let's take, I'm going to import that Kenora Thistle logo. I'm going to add one thing to it. Open. And let's size it. And center it. Now, when they actually won the Stanley Cup in 1907.
Cody said you ruined the project with that thing.
Yeah, well, I think Cody might be taking this course again. Now, if somebody's going to be goofy, I'm not going to do this. But let's say, for example, somebody wanted words, text, so it was on an arc. So then we would use that tool. I'm just going to use this one here just for display purposes. So here I'm going to go 1907. And where do you, and I'm going to, let's change the font a little bit. Ooh, that one looks good. I'm going to close, I can move it around. So we'd want this balanced a bit. So they're centered right now. That doesn't look centered, does it?
No.
So we'd want it balanced. That look good? Then I can just select them both. There we go. So it does a lot of the work for you. Okay, so as I did the image, I actually have to highlight this. I have to do my bitmap work. I'm just going to leave it black and white because you can go in and just do certain colors of the aspect, but we're going to do black and white. And then we're going to, this is the one part that people struggle with. You have to hit preview and then apply and then close. And me being one of those. Now, because I want to do both of those, I'm going to highlight both of them. So the 1907 is pink and the Kenora Thistles logo is pink. There's my V Carve. I'm not going to adjust anything here. That's the right tool. Calculate. And let's try a different type of wood here. Where's pine? Where is pine?
I just went over it.
Ah, there we go. There we go. So you can do it individually just with the logo or just with wording or a combination of both. The process is similar. The instructions go in the booklet, image. Second one's just wording. And the third one just says this combination of both. So what do I have to do after this? Close it. And then what do I do?
Time.
Yeah. So this one here says it's going to take 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Remember, the bigger it is, the longer it's going to take and the deeper. Now, the other thing you guys are going to have the opportunity, after you're done, you can route the project, but you route the project afterwards, and whenever the first person's ready to do this, we actually, you know Parker's board there? We have to line up the router bit so it's touching the front left corner of it. So that's why we need that. We can't route it till afterwards. And then just close and then save it. And it's got to be the CNC Shark, USB, ARCs, TAP, save tool path, but I'm not going to. Oh, and you have a question.
Was that red line that was going across the screen? Is that the route the router's going to take?
I don't remember seeing it. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's going to show the path. So it's going to start here. Yeah, So it's pretty cool. It does all the work. And then you can tell your parents, oh, today in shop class, I carved all of this in about 10 minutes.